Hi, this is Catherine Rosine with Board Game Geek. I'm sitting here with Dennis Kurps in his new game, The Insect Hotel, published by Logos. So, would you please let me hear about the game?
I will, and first of all, let me thank you for being here, and hello to everybody watching. It's always a pleasure to come to Board Game Geek.
Thank you.
Insect Hotel is a children's family children's game. It needs a little bit of help, especially in explaining the rules, so children might need a little bit of help to get started with, but once they know the rules, they can play on their own. I have set up all the characters or cards in the game to quickly run through with you. We have these 6 characters over here, which are the guests. We are looking to fill our hotels, there's 4 hotels, each per color, with our guests, and the guests that we are looking for are depicted at each floor.
All right, so here we're going to want a ladybug, right?
Exactly. So there we want to have a ladybug. And there's always space for 2, and that's important during the game, which leads me straight to the Grim Spider.
Uh-oh.
Because if you draw a Grim Spider from the deck, you may chase one visitor in an opponent's hotel.
So if this were your hotel, I could play that there to get rid of that.
And both go to the common pile in the middle.
All right.
But you may only do that as long as an insect is alone. Once it's a couple, they are stronger and they
won't
scare
be scared away.
and they won't be scared by the spider. Exactly. Now, obviously, in taking turns by drawing cards, you will not always find your guests. You may find a guest from another hotel. So this, for instance, is the fly. I will show the fly because I like the graphics. The fly will go here or here, but it cannot go in the red hotel. So let's say the player with the red hotel revealed the fly. Then the fly must wait next to his hotel. It cannot go, he has no room, and the other hotels don't know yet that it is there. They are still waiting to find a free spot. So we would take turns, and more animals would be waiting in line. And that's where the honey comes in.
All right.
I will be able to draw honey from the stack of cards. Let me find one more honey. Honey, where are you? See, honey is rare, so precious. Here is the honey. As soon as I have 2 honey in my honey pot, let's say player red had 2 honey in his honey pot, then instead of drawing a card, you may take a guess at somebody else's waiting line and say, I guess that in your waiting line there is, let's say, a fly. Okay? And then he checks secretly and he says, oh yeah, you're right. So the fly would, let's say, go, this was player yellow who was luring an insect from player red. Player red says, you are right. The insect goes there. One of the honey goes to the bank and 1 honey goes to player red. And then his turn is done. Okay? So you want to collect honey in the game. You want to make sure that you have couples of animals because of the spider. But then there's the hungry cockroach. Because you may be some person who says, oh, I'm going to collect honey and more and more and more and more, and then the cockroach comes and eats it all.
So you want to use it as quickly as possible because you don't want it to disappear.
But you need 2 to use it. You need 2 to lure in an animal, and if you wait too long, then it might be gone. And if you don't have enough, well, you can try to lure it. And so, really, the cockroach is something funny because it hurts a little bit of your game. The spider hurts a little bit of the other games, the other player games, and then you want to make sure that you have couples to protect yourself, because obviously the spider will not fight against 2 of a kind. And so the first player who fills his hotel with
all 6 spaces
with 3 couples wins.
Fantastic.
That's it. And it's a can't stop mechanism. So if somebody, let's say I draw a honey and maybe if I'm lucky 1 more before the cockroach comes, see, I lost. But let's say I was lucky and I draw 2 honey, then I can stop, pass, and next turn try and lure an animal.
Instead of drawing a card.
I might also say, I'm not sure what's going to happen, and so I can stop anytime. I don't have to play on if I don't want to, but normally you do because you want to win.
Yeah, right.
So that is Insect Hotel, a nice little game, and what is important, that's why I kept this here for last, I will put it here in the middle. Insect Hotel is based on real insect hotels. They existed for a long time, and so now we thought it was a good opportunity to make a fun game of, and to have children learn about that there's
So there's
not
information about it in the rules.
only,
That's great.
a little bit.
Well,
Why?
education, right?
Why? Because not all insects are harmful. There can be useful insects that help the garden and the plants and
Very
really
much so, and you want them in your garden,
and you
like
want-
ladybugs and then bees.
and exactly, and you want them in your garden. So that's why we thought this would be a nice theme, and it has, like always, been extremely well put into color and
It's
shape.
gorgeous art.
by
Yeah,
Yes,
wonderful. Thank you so much.
I can only thank Logis again and again for the work they do on our games. That's just perfect.
And 2 to 4 players, and how long does it take?
It's 2 to 4 players, like 15 minutes, maybe 20. And maybe one last rule for those who really want to know all the rules. Let's say all these cards have been drawn. Then at the last card, all the insects in the waiting lines are being called in and shuffled with the common stock,
All right.
with a common discard pile.
So they keep getting back in. So you
And
keep
so-
it quick if you want to try to get.
Yes, but we have had enough test games where you don't even go through one pack and then somebody wins. It depends on how strategic they play and if they know how to use the honey, and of course if they are lucky and they don't get spiders.
Of course. Well, thank you so much. That's Insect Hotel.
Thank you very much. See you guys.